Good morning again. Good morning again, family. I'm at the bed, nice, cozy. I'm gonna be in the house all day. I thought about going to what my plan? I wanted to go to Healing Springs today and get some more water, cause I'm out of my Healing Springs water. But it's so I don't know if y'all can hear it. That rain coming down so loud, baby. It's so cozy. I ain't doing nothing today. Today is my first day of work. Those of you that know me, that's been rocking with me, you know I start my work week on Sunday. I get things done all around the house, outside the house, whatever I got to do. If I got to do any maintenance on any of my vehicles, I get those done. I starts my paperwork. But I'm not doing nothing today. I run errands. I pick up things, grocery shop, whatever I need to do, but I'm not doing anything today. I'm going to be inside as long as it's raining. If it stops raining, what time is it now? If it stops raining later and the sun, oh, it's only 8:50, so it ain't even 9 o'clock yet. It's early still, so if it stops raining later in the day, I may do something. But this is what I want to share, people of God. I was sitting listening to a few videos where people were talking about how a lot of service providers, a lot of entrepreneurs are having to go back and pick up their 9 to 5 jobs and things like that. And a lot of customers and were giving their opinions and how they felt they were treated. And a lot of entrepreneurs, some of them were angry at going back to work and stuff like that. And this is what I want to say. I just want to give my little 2 cents to my brothers and sisters, those of you who may be looking for extra streams of income, or you may be looking into entrepreneurship, or you may be working a 9 to 5. I know a lot of people, especially in these social media streets, you may see a lot of people who demonize 9 to 5 and they talk down on it. People who have or who present themselves as well-to-do financially, they talk down on 9 to 5. But I want you to know something. Everybody has to start somewhere. And if you like what you're doing, there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. Some people actually enjoy their jobs. It's just the things that you go through on some of these jobs, you don't like it. But let me tell you on the flip side about entrepreneurship, there are struggles that entrepreneurs have as well. I'll call you right back. I'm making a video. I'll call you right back when I'm done. All right. There are struggles that entrepreneurs have as well. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, you may not be working 9 to 5, hour to hour, paycheck to paycheck, but sometimes you are working client to client. Sometimes things get tough. And as an entrepreneur, you're not just showing up, punching your time card, and then going to put in your hours and then going home. For me personally, I've worked many different jobs. I've worn many different hats. I have many different certifications. I've been a certified nursing assistant. I accidentally let my license expire. I did that because the love of it was in my heart. I enjoyed what I do. There were times when I used to work 7 days a week before I started keeping the Sabbath. I've worked as a police officer for well over 10 years. I've worked as a certified nursing assistant. I've worked as a disability specialist. I've been a mentor, a leader. I've worked with the youth. I've been a teacher. There's so many different things that I have done. I've worked in the postal services. I'm not going to keep going all down the list, but I have done a lot of different things, a lot of things that I like, a lot of my crafts. I'm a certified firearms instructor. I love guns. I like shooting. It's relaxing. There's so many different things that I have done, and there are so many different services in this world that we as people utilize and that people need, done. And when it comes to working a 9 to 5, is nothing wrong with that if you like what you're doing. When it comes to entrepreneurship, you have a lot of overhead costs. There are things that like you hear people say it costs to be the boss. Everything's on your shoulder now. You're not just showing up at a job in your uniform, punching a clock, and then going home, and that's it. When you leave, that's it. You leave the job at the job. when you're an entrepreneur, I mean, to me, those 8 to 12 hours on some of them jobs I used to work was nothing compared to what I do as an entrepreneur. Sometimes you're from sun before the sun rises and after the sun goes down. There's always something, and you got multiple, depending on what type of business you run, you got multiple different things that you need to have in compliance with the laws. You got business insurance. Sometimes you have commercial insurance policies. Those policies are $1 million policies. You know, they can be so many different expenses that you have as an entrepreneur. And so, yeah, you may be your own boss, but you still have to provide a service. So you still have to be cognizant of your behavior. You still have to have people skills. You still have to, be respectful. You have to be mindful of how you treat your customers. You have to show compassion and, love what you do. The Bible tells us when we do it a job, we do it like we do it for the Lord. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or whether you're working on a 9 to 5, right? And so there are ups and downs to entrepreneurship. There are some millionaires who are struggling. There are some millionaires who are going through financial struggles. And a lot of the people who I saw that service providers who were saying that they are having to go back to 9 to 5, they're saying that the clients are not interested in their services anymore. They're seeing a reduction in their numbers. And a lot of times also people, I remember my firearms instructor when I was going through training, she quoted this, and I think she got it from Maya Angelou. And she said, people will remember a lot of things. I think I'm quoting it wrong, but what she said was, people will never forget how you make them feel. And sometimes when people are in leadership positions and they've made so much money, they forget how to talk to people. They forget how to treat people. Or sometimes when people are making a lot of money, they begin to compromise their integrity to keep reeling people in so they can keep making that money. And they even will tell lies. And once they've got you to buy something from them, oh, well, you've got your money. I've given you what I told you I was going to give you. And then you see yourself, you didn't really benefit from it, And so people are waking up and they're begin to, people are beginning to discern, is this what this person's saying is true? Let me do the research on this first. Or they're just trying to sell me something or give me a certification for something, but I'm not going to do as good as they're doing. It takes time. Anytime you're starting out in business, it takes time. It takes time to build up clientele. It takes time to build up service. So for somebody to just tell you, quit your 9 to 5 and let me train you to do this, and you give me your money and I'll certify you to do that, they're gonna, once you pay them your money, they get theirs regardless. And now you got this certification, but you ain't got nothing. People not gonna just come flocking to you, throwing their money at you. It takes time to build up. And then not only that, with the economy going the way it is and things are getting tough for a lot of people are trying to find other ways to provide for themselves, right? And so you have to be mindful of this. There's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. It's a blessing to be an entrepreneur as well, but even that comes with struggles, right? Even that comes with struggles. So you have to pray and let God guide you about how to, create multiple streams of income. And you can listen to other people who are doing those things if they're willing to be honest with you, and if they're not trying to extract nothing from you while you're having a hard time. If you're having a hard time, why go and pay somebody and they're telling you, I can tell you this and tell you this because I'm making millions over here and I'm making this, and we just made over $250 million the other day. That's tickling your ears. It sounds good, but if you really have it like that, then why can't you just pour the knowledge down to me? If God is really blessing you like that, then why can't you just bless his people? Pour out the knowledge. Through knowledge to God's people, the just shall be delivered, right? Through knowledge. So the people lack of knowledge, a lot of people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Give people the knowledge that they need. Give it to them. If you really got it like that. That's how I feel. That's just my 2 cents. A lot of people disagree with me. But at the same time, I mean, if you're doing well, if you're well to do, why do you need to extract something from people who you call poor people? Why do you need to extract something from the poor people? Shouldn't you give to the poor? The Bible says those who give to the poor will never lack, right? That's just my 2 cents. And you got to be careful about letting people tell you to quit your 9 to 5. Like I said, let me turn this alarm on. You got to be careful about that, because a lot of entrepreneurs are going through a lot of different struggles right now. You know, a lot of entrepreneurs, and then a lot of people, they're pulling back their services from certain people because they realize people didn't have their best interests at heart, or people weren't treating them with respect, or they weren't receiving, the services weren't up to par that they thought that they would be receiving. So now they're not willing to give their money anymore. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for working a 9 to 5. I've been working a 9 to 5 a lot of my life, starting from the bottom. I went from different, as I got promoted, different jobs, the pay became better, the jobs became better, the different things I wanted to do. There were things that I had a desire to do, and I did those things, right? There's nothing wrong with working 9 to 5. You got people talk down on 9 to 5, but then some of these people who come and pick up their garbage every week, they're 9 to 5 workers. Some of the people where they go to pick up food for them and their families, they're 9 to 5 workers. You know, some of the resources that they need, they're 9 to 5 workers. And they talk down on these people. So don't let nobody make you feel bad for working 9 to 5. And if you're an entrepreneur, don't beat yourself up if business went bad for you and you had to go pick up a second job. Sometimes you have to look within yourself, make sure if you're doing everything that's right, if all of your customers were pleased with you, and it's just that people just were having a hard time, don't beat yourself up about that. Just keep going, keep pressing through. At least you got a skill, at least you've already mastered a business. Just keep going. Things will get better. That hard times do come sometimes. Hard times do come. That's a lot of people won't tell you that. People will tell you how they got all this money and how they started making this, but they won't really go to the foundation and tell you their whole foundation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just didn't wake up with a silver spoon in their mouth. There's some people who started dirty and they took dirty money and turned it over to something clean, and then they started building up from there. You know, and then so some people not gonna be honest with you about how they first started out, but then there's some people, they really started from the bottom, and God kept increasing them little by little, and they were content with that little increase, and that little by little God kept increasing them. And those are a lot of people who still have their integrity intact. Those are the people that's not going to lie to you to sell you something. Those are the people that's not going to go and get greedy with money and create courses and try to charge you tens and thousands of dollars or $7,000 for these different courses and stuff, because they're not greedy like that. Why? Because God is truly blessing them. You know, so you have to be really discerning where you give your money to, because it's a lot of people, they don't have the love of God in their heart. They'll tell you something quick just to get you to pour into them. You know, I saw this one guy once. He was like, if you got a $400 car payment, sometimes you might need to just get out of that mindset and let that car payment go and invest in something in yourself. Invest in a course. Put that $400 towards a course for yourself. I was shocked when I heard that. I was shocked. If you got a car payment that's $400 and God has given you with that car, and you know you need that car to get from point A to point B, then you take that $400 and you be wise and you pay your car payment. You don't take that $400 and go pump it into somebody else that's got something that they want to teach you. No, you pay your bills first. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. You pay your bills first. And then if you have extra that you want to go and invest in something else, you do that. Be wise. You know, I found myself in many financial struggles over the course of my young life because I wasn't wise with my money. I remember there was a time, and people know when you're making it. There was a time when I was in college. You know, I always worked. Since I was 13 years old, I always had a little hustle. I always tried to find a way to make money. You know, my father was never there in my life, and it was just me and my mother. And so I always tried to make money, and the right way. And I remember when I was in college, I think I was at UPS this time. I was working at UPS, so I had my own health benefits and all of that. And I had a sister at the time. She was with this agency, and she sold me a dream. She got in my head, girl, I got this thing going on. You need to come to this meeting we having. It was one of them little, I think them schemes where you build and you bring people under you and you get money for that. And so it was about this thing. She sold me a dream, and she was like, we can make so much money while we young and while we in college. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. And I thought about you. She said, I'm going to tell Sabrina, because you know you my sister, girl. I'm going to look out for you. And I said, okay. So she said, I'll pick you up. I ain't had to drive. So she came to pick me up from my apartment We went to the meeting. They started the presentation, the screen, the presentation. Whoever heard the guy that brought her in, he was supposed to be this pastor. He introduced himself to me. So it looked like a lot of people that looked like me there. And I was like, wow, so this is the next big thing. And they did the presentation, all of that. And at the end of it, $500 is what you had to pay to get started. And when you pay that $500, the money just comes to you. Like the business, it sells itself. And so I sat and I thought about that thing. And I had just cleared off my credit card. So here I got zero debt apart from my truck. I had a 99 Dodge Durango. Apart from the insurance and I would try to pay my insurance up every 6 months or every year. And my mama always had my back. Whenever I was lacking in something financially, she always had my back. Even though when we went through struggles, she would always have my back. So that's why when I got to the point, I always promised her, when I get to the point where I'm gonna buy you your first brand new car. And that's what I did. I bought her first brand new car. But when at the end of it was $500. And so I thought about that thing. And then they had, when you didn't, and I was like, I said, I'm gonna wait on this a little bit, just give me some time to research it. Then it went down to $250, right? To another thing, if you just wanna, that way you can lock in your spot or whatever. So I pulled out my card. I went ahead and paid. And she knew I had a little money, right? More than the other sisters. So I guess that's why she focused on bringing me in. After I went to that meeting, paid the $250, I was excited. After she dropped me off or whatever, she was so excited, talking on her way back. Girl, we gonna do this, blah, blah. After she dropped me off, I didn't hear from her since. So I'm thinking, we're gonna create a team. And she was talking about how we can tell the other sisters. So I'm talking to some of our other sisters at the time. She gets upset when I was talking the situation to some of our other sisters. Later, when one of the sisters that I was talking to about it, talking about what we're doing and how we're going to build a team and all of us, she gets upset because I was talking to that sister and said, I've already talked to her about it. She's going to come in under me and I'm going to talk to her about that. And that's when I realized I was God. I said, what? I said, I thought we were building a team. We're all working together. And she was like, no, I'll handle that. I'll deal with that with her. And she never talked about the business again. It just went there. So it's like I was stuck like Chuck. I was stuck like Chuck. She done got my $250 then. You see what I'm saying? Left me out there to figure out everything on my own. So it was about bringing people under her and building her stuff up. So when I paid my $250, she automatically got a percentage. So she automatically got paid and got credit for however that little system they had going on work. But I was out there hanging. See? So yeah, don't let people. I done invested in a lot of other different things. People done tricked me so many times and stuff like that. Come up off of you, then that push you back a little bit. And in college, $250 is a lot of money when you in college and you footing it for yourself. You putting yourself through college. And then y'all know how they charge. I don't know if it's still like this, but man, they would charge for them books. Since I never saw a spelling book cost $150. An English book cost $200. Yeah, them books were so high. I was like, and at the end of the day, I thank God I got my degree. But if I could turn back the hands of time, that little expensive piece of paper, I would have not gone to college. I would have started my business years ago, and I would have been in a whole different spot by now. Well, then again, my mindset, I don't know. I was connected, and I was still a little naive and gullible. But still, yet, if I could turn back the hands of time, I would have never gone to college. Not knocking college for those of you who are in college or you know exactly what you want to do. But I personally, I would have never gone to college. I would have just started my business and started different other businesses and bought real estate and stuff like that. Invested in stuff a long time ago, But it's okay. You live and you learn. And as we grow, we're still learning. We're supposed to learn together and help each other come up. If I can't tell you nothing to help you, I never tell my brothers and sisters nothing to knock you down. I don't need nothing from you. God blesses me in this life. He blessed me with health and strength, with a sound mind to get out here and to work. And he adds increase little by little, and I'm content. And when God want me to learn something, he put people on my path to teach me. And I am very teachable, baby, because I like to learn, especially about different things, different investments. I was talking to one of my sisters. Shout out to you. I ain't going to say your name. Wait a minute until I finish. She trying to get me off here. I was talking to one of my sisters. She and I talked for a while the other day, and we're both learning about this new type of investment, this new way of thing that they're planning and how the financial system is shifting and turning. And so this is all new to me, and it feels good to learn and she knows a lot more than I do. So it feels good to not only learn, but then also have someone that you can ask questions with. Oh, this alarm keeps going on. But anyway, people of God, I'm going to get off here and take my baby out now. But, you know, don't demonize a 9 to 5. Entrepreneurs have problems as well, and a lot of entrepreneurs are having problems right now. A lot of millionaires are having problems right now that they keep hidden from you, that they're not going to tell you, you know. But you do have a lot of good brothers and sisters out there who are doing well off financially, and they will just give you the game. They will put you onto stuff. Why? Because they're doing so well. They're content in their own lane, and they want to see their brothers and sisters grow. They're not trying to come up off of you. They already up. You see what I'm saying? So just be mindful of people you give your resources to and that you give your ear to. Some people are drawing you in because that's their business, you know. And so you just got to be prayerful and be discerning, you know. And anytime that you are running a business, always be honest. Run an honest, upright business. Do it because you love what you're doing. When you get to the point where you don't love what you do no more, it's time to find something else to do, or maybe hire somebody and put somebody in that spot. Give somebody an opportunity to do it so that you can go off and do something else, and then you still got that business running. Somebody you can trust, and somebody who actually love whatever that business is, or that skill that needs to be provided, you know, that service that needs to be provided. Always do what you do from a pure heart. Be honest with people, be respectful, and cater to your customers. Just because you're an entrepreneur, that don't give you the right to down talk people. You know, that's your business. That's your paycheck walking through the door. That every individual, that's your money, right? And so you got to respect them. You got to go out. Come on, let's go. Let me go take a. Nobody told you that they love you. I think I already told y'all this morning, but I'm going to tell you again. I love you on this Sunday morning. We are the light of the world. Let's don't never let our light grow dark. Let's keep shining bright, baby. Never despise small beginnings. Be prayerful. Include God in everything. And when God is in it, it'll be blessed. You know, my little business I've been running, going on, January coming to be my 9-year anniversary of being an entrepreneur. I've had many struggles. I've had many blessings. And you see your little country bunking sister been running hard these last few months. November, December, October, November, December are my busiest months of the year with all the paperwork and different things I have to get done. But my customers have just been blowing me up. I have been overbooked. I have been tired. I'm taking tomorrow off. But then that's what happens when you got good service. I have customers that call me and beg me, and I tell them, no, I'm booked from Monday to Thursday. They say, well, we'll wait for you till Friday. I said, you sure you're gonna wait for me? I have customers that do that. Why? Because when you provide a good service and people know your yes is your yes, your word is your bond, they don't want to lose you. They rather deal with you. In this day and time, people deal with honest people, right? So anyway, have a blessed day. I love you. Don't despise small beginnings.